this mini tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use GarageBand to edit your podcast. I'm going to walk through some simple steps of adding your audio tracks, making some clips, adding music and adjusting the volume and preparing for export. So let's give it a go. All right, I'm going to need my earphones for this, for editing. All right, first things first, let's open up GarageBand. Let's start a new project. I'm going to choose mic or line. I could record directly into GarageBand, but in this case, I've already got an audio track that I recorded earlier, so let's import that. To do that, I'm going to click and add audio file. Fantastic, and that's my audio file. It's imported a bit to the right, so just to move it, I'm just going to click and hold that file and drag to the start there. Now let's make a few clips.
All right, Amy.
And instantly I can see that the setup has got the metronome on. I don't need this because it's not a musical track, so I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to change the setup to timing because this is more useful for me when I'm doing the markup in terms of where I want to cut. So let's find the part where I actually start speaking to my listeners, because this is all just like behind the scenes stuff I don't need. So I'm going to find that point where I need to cut. Let's take a look.
To get this, okay. Teaser box.
There we go, that's the point that I need to cut. And I'm going to zoom in a bit because I can't quite see clearly where I'm cutting.
Get this, okay.
There we go, that's the cut. And to cut, I'm going to do Command T, and that's my cut. And you'll notice that I put the marker directly where I wanted to cut, and then Command T did the cutting. So the rest of this I don't need, it's just a pre-recording waffle. So I'm going to delete that bit. And again, I'm going to drag this to the start. Actually, I can zoom right out to make that a bit easier for me to drag. Great. Another way in which you can cut your tracks is simply by dragging the track. And let me show you what I mean. The alternative is to hover wherever there's a cut. So let's say here, go to the lower part of the track. So I don't want this part, this is for loops. I want the lower part here. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it here. And there we go, that's another way you can do cuts. And you'll find both of those options, the Command T and the dragging, is really helpful and enables you to edit quickly. And now I'm going to add the music track for my podcast. So new track, add audio file. I've got my music already here. And I'm going to add this. It's quite a short music track, so I'm going to loop it by holding above here and dragging. You can see it's just kind of making a pattern, like a copy pattern. And as it's the musical track is naturally designed to be looped, this will work really well. So let's have a listen.
Season 8, episode 2.
With my music, and you may find this too, my music is just part of my branding, so I don't want it playing for too long. I literally just want a few beats of it playing at a normal volume, and then I'm going to fade it out and start speaking over it because I want my listeners to hang around for as long as possible. And to do that, I need to get to the heart of the topic, which is like what we're talking about and why the listeners should stick around. So I don't want too many beats of music because it's just not serving the audience. So let's increase the volume of my track because I noticed I was a bit low. To do this, I'm just going to mute the audio by hitting that button there.
Welcome to TESOL Pop, the mini podcast for busy teachers.
It is quite low, as I can see.
Joining me today
by the lines here, it could be a bit boosted a bit more. So let me just turn this up a little bit by a few decibels. Maybe let's put it up by 1 decibel.
To talk about creating content to grow your community is Amy.
Okay, that's good. I've actually increased it by 3 decibels and that's much better. I can see as I'm watching it that
today to talk about creating content.
It's not peaking into the red, so it's not going over a comfortable level that's going to be really just a horrible sound and just a bit shocking for the listener, not a comfortable listen. Now I'm going to adjust the music. I want to start at a certain level and then bring it down to a lower level. So as I'm speaking, you can hear the music in the background, but it's not fighting with what I'm saying. It's more of just like a nice ambience rather than something that is not comfortable for the listener. So let's do that now. And to do this, I'm gonna turn this back on. I'm gonna go for mix. Show automation. Yep, great. That's opened up the volume options. I'm actually going to bring the volume of this down because this track is a bit loud. So let's have a listen. Let's turn that back on.
Hello and Bob, Season 8, Episode 2.
Still a bit loud, and you can see it's really going over into the yellow there, which I don't want so much. Let's turn it down a bit. You will find that when you're doing your levels in terms of like music or your guests, that you've got multiple tracks, it will take a few listens, and it's a good idea that once you've done the first edit is to go away, take a break, then come back and then have another listen with your eyes closed. That's what I do. And then you'll be able to gauge whether the volumes are comfortable.
Teaser Bob, Season 8, Episode 2.
Okay, yeah, that's better. Okay, let's stick with that for now. I'm going to zoom in and now I'm going to change the volume here. And to do that, I'm going to add a keyframe about here. So highlight the yellow line. It's related to the volume. I'm going to add a keyframe by clicking twice to get that little dot there. I'm going to add another keyframe here. And I'm then going to click on that and I'm going to drag that down. In fact, I may drag it over a bit. Let's see.
Hello and welcome to Teaser Bob.
It's still a bit loud, so let's bring that down further.
Hello and welcome to Teaser Bob, the mini podcast for busy teachers.
Yeah, that's better. Let's imagine that I've added all my music and now I'm ready to export. I now need to enter the out point for the track. Now here you can see the track, me finishing speaking, that is. I finished speaking here, but the track actually continues here and this is just dead air. We don't want that. So I'm going to shorten this part here by going up to the top. And you can see this double arrow symbol appear again. So I'm going to use that to drag. And can you see that shading? That's moving. And that's now my out point. So we've added our tracks, we've adjusted the volume, we've done some clips, we've ensured that the out point is where the actual track stops. Now we're ready to export. And to do that, we're going to go to share and we're going to go to export song to disk. Let's give it a name. You should call it version 1 if it's the first edit. I'm going to save it as an MP3 and export. This can sometimes take a few minutes. This is a good time to take a cup of tea while it renders. The other thing I'm going to do as well is just to make sure that I've saved this project file. So this means if I want to come back and do further edits to this project, I'll have it already set up as it is, so I don't have to start all again from the beginning. And to do that, I'm just going to save file. And I'm going to call this, again, example, and I'm going to save it wherever it makes sense for you. There we go, that's the MP3 I've just exported for the episode.
Teaser Bob, Season 8, Episode 2.
Great, I just created that. And now I'm going to upload that to my hosting site and release it. That's the basics for GarageBand. Let me know in the comments below what features you'd like me to show you so I can help you edit your podcasts.